With the product page content, we make our store flexible and unique. So right now we have some different content items already added. But if you want to add a content, you can click Add Content and choose one of these choices. Inside of the product page content, when we see the product variants with that star instead of the parentheses, that means that this setting is required for the product page content to work, right? So we have that here for product variants. And if we scroll down, we also have it here for add to cart, right? We see the parentheses and the star in between. That means that these are required settings and they must be within your content in the product page content settings to be able to allow your product page content to work. So inside of this content, we have a product title. We can click it. We can choose to remove bottom space by clicking this. Or we can add a custom color. Let's say blue. If we choose that custom color, it will appear up here. I don't think that looks half bad, but just so we match with the other black items here, I will click here and click none. Cool. We can choose to change the font family and make it base font or title font by this drop down. Another area that's really important is the font size. We can click it from medium to big. And see that big change it made? I think it looks better like this, but maybe for readability for users, I will change this back to medium. So now let's go look at the product price. I'll click product price, and now we're in the product price section. The product price section deals with the product's price, or this right here, right? So first things first that we see in this section is their settings, and then it says remove bottom space. So if we click this, it will remove this bottom space beneath the price. I'll click to show you. You see how the spacing was pushed or was removed, right? And then if I uncheck this to bring back that bottom space, you see how the space was added back? That's really cool and useful when you want to style things within your product page. We can also change the custom color of the price, right? So instead of it being black, we could change it to, let's say, red. Or we can change it to green, right? Whatever color we want, we could use right here. But now we have another color, a reduced price color. But on this specific product, we don't have a reduced price. We just have a normal price. So let's go to a product that has a reduced price. In my case, I'm going to click here. I'm going to go to homepage. I'm going to scroll down and I see this, a product that's on sale. So I'll click it. All right, so I'll go into the product page content to get back into our section, and I'll click product price. Once we get into this section, I'll scroll up so you can see it more clearly. Remember we had a custom color, right? But now we want to add a reduced price color. So we will click, and let's say we'll add the color green. You see, this is our reduced price color, and we changed it right here. So this was the original price, $39.36. We have a sales tag here, right, to say that this is 61% off. It's on sale. And then this price right here is our reduced price. This is what the price is now. So we can set that color with this. I'll put it back to none for now. Right. And the reason that it's saying red, even though we have none of these styling set, is because in the theme settings, we have a specific color set, the color red, when we have a reduced item, right? But we can override it by choosing a color in here and setting it like blue. And that will become blue. We can also set a color for our old price. So I can, let's say, make this color red. So now our old price is red, but the new price is this custom blue we put. See? So that's what we could do inside of the style section. We could also mess with the font family. So we can go in, we can click title, and it'll change the styling of our font. See? So our font now switches to this type font. And we can go back and put it on base. And it goes back to this style, right? And remember, the base style font can be found inside of our theme settings. All right, so now let's look at our font size. Let's say we want to change our font size for medium. We have small, base, medium, and big. Let's try big. Big seems really big, so we might want to shrink that. So we can shrink it down to base. Kind of too small. We could try small. Really small. So I'll carry it right back to medium. We can also change how the sale badge looks, right? It says show sales badge as a %. We could change it from a % to a money amount. See? So now it's saying $23.62 off. We could change it to only say sale text, right? And we could also change it to hide the sales badge. And this is the product price section. When you click an option, let's say like review stars, and it just says remove bottom space, the reason there's no settings here is because these settings aren't listed here. All you can do is change the remove bottom space for some of these settings, but the majority of these settings can be found in, go back, right? Click the back button, click back one more time, scroll down and go to theme settings. And this is where the main settings for your theme is located. So if you click theme settings, you will see different things in here that you've just seen before in the page content section. You'll scroll down and let's look for review. You see reviews is here. And you could click it. And then here you can actually customize more of the settings. What review app are you using? And you could choose if you want to use Shopify reviews, Luke's, Alley reviews, and there's so many more options in here that you can choose. Or you could even choose none. But see, this allows you to get more, or this allows you to dig deeper into the overall settings, right? So when you go just to page content, you'll just see remove, you'll just see remove bottom space for a lot of these settings. But a lot of these settings are actually found within the theme settings, right? All right, let's scroll down now to the countdown timer. Inside of theme settings, when we open up the countdown timer section, we see so much that we can customize, from the enable disable buttons, right? So if we want to enable the countdown to be shown on screen, and if we want it to be able to be shown on our product cards, and to be able to change even the time settings and so much more inside of this. We don't get this when we look at our main countdown settings, right? But first things first, you could see that we don't see a countdown timer on this product page that we're in right now, right? So we need to navigate to an area where we can actually see the countdown timer. So for this case, I'm going to go to home, but you can navigate to wherever you have a countdown timer within your theme. And I'm going to go and find this one. Let's look. Cool. This item here has a countdown timer. So with here, inside of the theme settings, we can customize all of this, right? But when we go back, let me go back one more time. And let me go to the product page content. And let's say I make a new one. I go to add content and I say offer countdown. When we look inside of the settings, there's not much here. It's just a basic rundown. This is because all the control, the main controls, is inside of theme settings. We're just seeing the basic things we can move, like removing space that we've seen in most of the other items, right? And also just some small little things, being able to change text, which is really useful. But in order to get to the main power, right, to get the maximum amount of control, we need to go back, scroll down again, and click theme settings here. It takes you to the same place. Then when we scroll down, we'll go down to the countdown timer. And then we can make our customized changes here, right? So we can change our time. We can change how we want it to look if we want it to be able to show it all, right? Or if we just want it to be able to be shown, but not on our product cards, right? We can control all of this in here. All right, so let's go to our countdown timer. Let's click this one right here. And now we're in our countdown timer section. Inside of this product page, we see that there is no countdown timer. So we have to navigate to a page so we can actually see that. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to home page. Inside of the home page, I'll just find a product that I could see that has a countdown timer. So any of these. I'm going to click the butterfly, all right, the butterfly yoga pen. And as we can see, there's a countdown timer here. So I'll navigate back to the product page content, navigate back to the countdown timer, and boom, here I am. So first things first, we have the same old remove bottom space check or select mark to be able to remove the bottom space beneath this section. But don't really need it, but we can see what it does if I click it. See? It kind of changes the space right beneath it. If I click it again, see, it puts some space there. So useful if you need it. Okay, so let's go into the style here. We can change how this looks. We can change it from compact to 2 columns. See that? From 2 columns to compact. It's really cool. For this case, I'll leave mine at 2 columns, but choose what works best for your situation. I can change the title text here from limited time offer to buy this quickly. Oops, I spelled that wrong. Quickly. Spell that wrong again. Buy this quick. Let's do that. Right? But you can change the countdown title to whatever fits, and this will change here. We also have a warning text here. And as you can see, it says the price of this item, and you can see it right here, the price of this item. I'll zoom in so you can see it. See, the price of this item will revert back to $39.36. So I'll zoom out. So we can change how this text appears from the price of this. We can change item to product. Put some space in between those. Product. Cool. And you can see that this changes, right? The price of this, we change this from item to product, will revert back to, and then we have this right here. This means the specific price. You see that? This will get replaced by the product's original price. So that's what this is. So if we look up, or excuse me, if we look down right here, you see how the price gets thrown into this situation right here, the original price. That's what's happening when we see that percent, price, percent. Right? So the price of this product will revert to this price. We wouldn't touch the price text because you want it. I'll get to it. We wouldn't touch this price text because we wouldn't want to mess with how that looks, unless you just don't want that old price to be shown. But definitely leave this here for most cases. But we can mess with the text around it just for whatever fits best. So we can say the price of this product will revert back to the original price. At the end of this, we could change it from countdown to the end of this offer, right? And it'll change here. But remember, we can change it to whatever fits in your specific section. I'm just adding what works in mine. So this is the settings for the countdown timer. And remember, if you want to manipulate or change some of the base settings for this, we just have to go back, just back again, scroll down, and then go to theme settings. And then we could always scroll back down to where we see this countdown timer and be able to use this, right? And this will let us change the custom base settings for how our timer will work. We can choose product variants. What does that mean? That explains the different types of a product that we have, right? But for this, we can choose to remove the bottom space or to leave the bottom space that is pre-added, right? By clicking this. Okay, for product stock, we can click product stock. And we could actually choose how much items we have in stock. This one says there's only one item left, but we can customize it. We can say there's 100, there is 1,000. And it'll change it here. But see, right now, this is set, which is a setting inside of the section that we'll touch on in a little bit. And what it does is it instills that urgency, where even though we actually have 1,000 items, it'll say, hey, we only have 618. That way we can really entice our buyers to say, you know what, there's only a few left, buy now. Right? And that's something that's pre-built inside of Booster Theme. We can click this down to 10. And we could also move this setting. So it said if set above 0, the stock amount will be reduced by 1, right? We can change this around. Let's say we want to change this to 3. So see, every 3 seconds, it will change this stock amount. See that? And it'll reduce it. So we can change it a little bit up some more. We want it to be believable. We don't want it to look that every single second it's going down very quickly, but it might be for your situation. So this allows us to make that change. So every 15 seconds, if that's what we have set, or wherever we move this slider to, it will change the amount of items that we have in stock. All right, so add to cart. Inside of add to cart, it removes the bottom space if we click that, right? Click the little checkbox. And it also shows a sticky ATC on a desktop, or we could also click to show a sticky ATC on mobile if these are selected, right? And it'll affect how this looks. All right, for product description, that's this whole section here. We can actually set the heading. This says product description. We could say product information in this case. Let's see, it'll change it there. But I think description fits better, so I will put that back. There. All right, so we also have another add content. We also have another add content option. Okay, there's so many different items in here. We have an offer countdown and a product title and so many more. And some are we already seen, and some we have already seen because they're already set on the theme. But let's click image badges, for example, and let's see what that looks like. So I'll click image badges, and I could choose a badge. See, there's even some pre-set ones right here when this is enabled, but I'll select an image. And let's say this booster theme badge here, we want to put it below here. So we'll click this, we'll click select, and you see now that badge is here, right underneath our product description. So that's what image/badges mean. And we could also choose to click this and remove the extra bottom space it adds. But we'll remove it for now because we don't really need it. And then we will delete it, which is click here, remove. And that's how we remove an item from a list. If we go to add content and click Accordion, this is one of the most versatile features inside of the project page content section. Here we have the normal feature to remove bottom space, but we could also set up headings. So I'll call this heading Accordion. And you see it shows up right here. And then I could add basically whatever I want here. So I can add a description, a review, a meta field, a page, a product specific page, and a custom content. For right now, I'll leave it as description so you can see what that does. So when I click this, it shows a description. Whoops. It shows the description down here. This is where the description is, right? So now if I go to review or reviews, I'll click that. And when I click this, it'll show customer reviews, or it'll prompt a user to write a review. So what if I click meta field? When I click meta field, I don't see anything here, right? What meta field is, or what meta field does, is it also requires you to fill out this down here, the meta field namespace and the meta field key, right? But this is something that you would use if you want a lot more customization. It's not for the average user. But if you have need to use the meta field, click meta field here, and then fill the namespace and the meta field key out. I will go to page now. So if we go to page, we can click here, and there's nothing shown. If we scroll down, we can choose what page we want to show. So I will select the page, and let's say About Us, and then I'll go to Select. When I do that now, or when I click over here, it will show me the About Us page. Right now it's just showing lorem ipsum placeholder text, but it would actually show you that information from that page here in this dropdown. And let's go to custom content. When we add custom content, let's click this. We don't see anything here. So let's scroll down. There's a custom content section down here. And what this allows us to do is it allows us to put in any HTML text or any coding text here that can allow us to have custom content that we add or our developer adds. So it allows us to have more flexibility to be able to customize how we want things to look on our store. But there's so much ability inside of the Accordion section, and there's so much you could do with it. So for within this custom content, let's add some custom content here. And let's say here is custom content. And we click this, the plus button, and it shows right here. So if you know HTML and CSS and you want to, add some customization to your site and make it more of what you have in mind, then you could use this custom content section here. Okay, so let's go back. So now we'll go down. We have a little bit more settings we need to look at. So we have some layout settings here. We can choose to change the product page type from default to marketplace, and see it adds 2 sections here, which is really cool. So if you need that, changing this product page type to marketplace allows you to have it. And it also changes the look of this a bit. See, now you can slide and you have this option here and this option there. But for our case, we'll move it back to default. We can change the page width from box to full width. Right? So a little bit of a change there. I'll leave it at full width. And we could change the gallery style, right? How these pictures look from default to vertical list with 2 columns. Look at that. Or we can change it to vertical list with 1 column. So there's some versatility there, right? So I'll leave it like that. I kind of like the 2, so I'll put it to 2 columns. And then for gallery position, we could change it from left to right if we want to. I kind of like it like this, so I'll leave it like this for this case. So we can zoom image on hover if we click this, or we can change image on hover if we select this. And for vertical gallery image fit, we can change how it looks by messing with this drop down. So this allows it to crop, but we can go to preserve ratio so we keep all the sizing preserved. We can mess with the gap or the spacing between the vertical gallery items with this slider. Like I'll slide it for an example. And navigation, we could actually click to enable previous or next products by selecting this. So as you can see, there's so many different options and different choices we can have with the product page content section. And there's so much you could do to make it your own. So play around with it and enjoy Booster Theme. Thank you for watching this video. Please refer to our Help Center for more information.